Hello, everyone, and welcome to Reignite Your Sparkle. I'm Ingela, and I'm your host. And today I have the great pleasure of having with us the gorgeous, all the way from Bali, Denise Michelle.
Oh, yay.
Oh, so I'm going to read her bio, and I will tell you a little personal story too, but I love Michelle. So I'll start with that. When I saw Michelle, she was, I was doing a Zoom with Tony Robbins, and she was in the leadership program. So she was basically my coach, and we were doing Date with Destiny. Is that what we're doing? Date with Destiny?
We were doing Date with Destiny.
Yeah, Date with Destiny. Oh, it was just a few months ago. It seems like it was much longer. And I knew right away. I did not even know what she was doing. But I was doing my research for my experts, and I just knew it, that she had to be on my show. And here you are.
And here I am.
Here you are. Like I said, I didn't even know what she did. I was just like, she's going to be on my show. So, Denise Michelle is a self-love alchemist, award-winning transformational life coach, rapid transformation hypnotherapist, #1 international bestselling author, creator of Hypno Healing, Think and Grow Rich instructor, and self-love expert with a background in the healing arts and spiritual entrepreneurship. Wow.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today's subject, self-love. So, self-love, it sounds so easy, but it's not. It's a journey to truly get there. And when you think you're there, you're not there. So, what is your, like, when did you start coming into start? Like, I know when I really started truly to love myself, there was a moment. Like, did you have that moment when you're just like, yeah, like I had that moment. I will share it if I remember. And it was like, wow, it's in me now. It's in my soul now.
I would say I don't remember the moment when I knew it was in my soul, but I remember the moment when I made the declaration to begin.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It was, and it was powerful because I looked at myself in the mirror and I chose her. And that was a game changer for me, because for the first time I was looking at myself in the mirror, flaws and all, and saying, I'm going to love and accept you anyway. And I'm going to be here for you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So then when you had made that declaration, maybe I'm cutting into the steps to the path to self-love.
Not quite. Yeah, we're not there yet.
So you decide, okay, I'm going to love me, accept me, flaws and all. It sounds easy, but it's not.
No, especially because I was in a cycle of suicidal ideation. So for me, a majority of my life, it was really easy for me to be like, well, I can just kill myself. I'm not going to fully commit because I have this thing over here. And that was the game changer for me, was when I realized, wow, this is life. This is it. And if I want to have the things that I've dreamt about, then I have to make a commitment, and I have to say yes. And I have to say, I will no longer get in the way of that. I will no longer get in the way. I am a vessel, and I will allow you to work through me. And I will not entertain completing my life on my terms. That's not for me to decide. And that was the declaration I made. So that was a true love and acceptance of everything, saying, I'm committing to the process of life, and I'm going to let you play full out through me.
Mm.
Yeah, it was
Sounds
powerful.
like you was sounded like you just surrendered.
I did. I had to, because if I didn't, I was going to stay in the same cycle, and I didn't want to live like that anymore. And I knew that something had to change. And the only thing that I knew intuitively to do was look at her in the mirror and know that no matter what, she's going to be loved and held and accepted. And from here on, I was going to embrace her, and I was going to start showing her love, and I was going to start experiencing her in a new way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big step. It's kind of like you crossed that. But so let me go back.
Sure.
What happened right before you made that declaration? Like, because there's, like Tony says, there's one day when you draw the line and you choose to either step over or you choose to go retreat and go back, right?
I think that the thing, well, because if you really look at my history, being someone who was born with borderline personality disorder, being on a mission since I was basically born, what is love? Like, I've always sought love. I mean, I didn't even know what I wanted to be when I grew up, when the teacher said, what's your dream? And I said, I just want love. I remember saying that. I was 6. And it's so funny, because that's been my mission my entire life, is what is love? What is love? What is love? And, almost like going to really great lengths to understand that it's always been here. And I was searching for it externally, because I didn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah.
And when, for a small child to be dealing with such deep emotional dysregulation, dysfunctional parenting, dysfunctional relationships, unstable family home. I mean, I'm not saying all of my childhood was rocky, but a majority of it was hard. Moving schools a lot, not having an identity,
Mhm.
realizing that I could be a chameleon, because, you go to another school and you're like, I can be anybody. These people don't know who I am. So you put on another mask and another mask and another mask. And that was my upbringing. So it was like, getting to a place in my early 20s when it was like, something's not right. I need to start taking off the masks. But I didn't even know how to do that, because I hadn't even been diagnosed yet. Like, I wasn't diagnosed until I was 26 years old. So, going through all of that and really starting that self-development process. I mean, I didn't even claim that I was a self-love expert, or that was my niche, until, just a few years ago, when it really unfolded after I became a coach. I was like, oh, I'm a spiritual guide. I'm a spiritual coach. I'm a transformational coach. I help people with their dream, and it was like, and then I realized, I was like, no, like, I educate on self-love. Everything I do is self-love, self-care, self-healing.
Mhm.
Right. And I realized that that's what I have spent over 20 years doing, and like, not just doing, like, obsessed with, and that's what I'm here to share. So yeah, it's been an interesting process. So, coming up to that, looping back to your question, coming to that point, I made, it was that moment of, I think, when you realize that you're creating your own suffering,
Mm.
and you have to choose, am I going to stay in this cycle,
Mhm.
or am I going to break the cycle? And I chose to break the cycle, because what I wanted wasn't going to be in this. What I wanted was going to be over here. And I knew that it was going to take more work for me. And
Yeah.
I knew that it had to start with a commitment to myself and to life.
Mm.
And that was the declaration.
Hmm. This is so perfect because this one will be aired in the beginning on Valentine's. And now it's said, now we will stick on that day. And it's about love, right? But it's not, because and that's what I want everybody that's listening, like, today is today. Declare you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this is your time. You know, no matter what, we, you know, like you had your story, right? We all have a story. So we just get to declare, give ourselves grace for things we've done in the past, things we'll do in the future, but just declare that today, I'm going to declare to love me, and going to declare to start to getting to know me.
Yeah.
That's huge. And it's brave.
It's brave.
Yeah. Scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's revealing. It's all the things. It's, you know, you're probably, when you do it, when you make that declaration, and I highly suggest you make that declaration in the mirror so you can see all of yourself. Well, that was one of the things that I had started practicing, was because I didn't feel like I really knew myself. So I started getting to know myself in really deep emotional states. When I was laughing, when I was crying, when I was having like complete meltdowns, to, you know, just moments that I was sad, and I would just stare and I would just study my face, and I would study the emotions coming through me. And I was starting to link it all. And it was almost like that started for me creating an identity in myself of like humanness, right? Like of accepting my humanness and getting to know all parts of me. Because for so long, you know, I looked in the mirror and I hated what I saw, and I would say it. I would say it in the mirror. I would tell her I hated her. I was mean and hurtful to her.
Mm.
I was mean to her. And, you know, and there have been moments where, you know, in the last few years where I caught myself not being so nice. And I'm like, oh, you know, I'm just like, sweetheart, I am so sorry. I will never treat you like that again.
Mhm.
You know, and it's like, it's that continual coming home. And guess what? Why do we do that? Because it's what's going on in our subconscious. It's part of our programming. It's part of our core belief system. You know, however we were brought up, you know, whatever our caretakers, it could have been from, you know, childhood traumas or children being mean, or who knows, right? Teachers saying something that seemed innocent, but you took it to heart. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, this is what creates our belief system. And we are so deeply programmed between the ages of 0 and 7. That's when we're developing. And all of that is getting sponged into our subconscious mind,
Yeah.
where, you know, 10, 20, 30 years later, sometimes for some of my clients, it's been 60 years later.
Wow.
Yeah. Those patterns and those voices are still guiding the ship. And I'm like, wow, that was happening in your 6-year-old self.
Mhm.
That was happening in your 2-year-old self. Like, and you carried it with you all this time. And you
Mhm.
still have that belief. And so, you know, it's just, it's really interesting and really powerful when you start to look at yourself. And when I say yourself, I'm saying capital S self, lowercase s self. So I'm just a distinction between the two. Lowercase s is more of your ego. Capital S self is your spirit self. You know,
Mm.
whatever you resonate with, universe, God, spirit, right? Your
Mm.
higher power.
Yeah.
That is your truth. That is your truth. That is that the you coming from love, who doesn't know the difference between, you know, like the judgments that you're making towards yourself. It takes everything very literally, right? Our subconscious mind is really freaking powerful. So we have to be, this is why our mind, we have to be really mindful about where our thoughts are going, and how, you know, how we have to learn how to catch them, right? And notice what we're noticing, notice when they're coming up. And then we have to, you know, take the steps forward. So, and I know we'll go into all of that, but
We're going with
yeah,
the flow here. No,
yeah,
it's those limiting beliefs. It's amazing what they can do and what they are doing.
They can destroy you. They can literally destroy you.
Yes. And it could be something so little. Like you said, it could be with somebody. I can go back in mind, because we do this in the Tony world, or he takes us back, and I love doing that with other people. And it's amazing what it can just be, like you said, a comment from a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
It can be something where you didn't get something and you put this thing to it, and then you carry it with you. And it's like, why am I not getting what I get? Why do I feel like I'm not deserving? Why do I feel like I'm not enough? Why, like all these things is like, why, then when you start going back, which is a whole process,
Mm-hmm.
and you see it and it just opens up, but it doesn't just take once. It's then when you're aware, it just opens up, but then you have to keep working on it or working on it. And you just see things that has stacked up, because it stacks, because you're getting evidence every day in your life that, no, you're not worthy.
Yeah.
You can't be loved. You're this, you're that, you're ugly, you're that, anything. It just stacks. And here we are later in our prime.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're like unstacking all this, right? Which is a beautiful thing when you see people going through that transformation.
Yeah.
And becoming aware.
It is. And that's one of my favorite things about, teaching my students and seeing clients, like just literally seeing them have those breakthrough moments of, they're in a cycle, they're in their pattern. Yeah, because it's all patterns, at the end of the day. And so like, once they actually see the pattern, and then it's just that light bulb moment, and it's like boom, boom, it's like fireworks going off. And that's my favorite, because you can't unlearn what you learn,
right?
In the sense of awareness. You can unlearn and unprogram yourself from the stuff that you've had. But when you start to become aware of the things that are actually driving you, and the patterns that have created your life, and the patterns that have created the results in your life, this is where you take your power back. Right. And this is where you start to see yourself as, I'm not weak. I am not unworthy. And I've been telling myself that in this entire time, because it was all because of that.
Yeah.
Right. Or maybe not all of it, but at least a portion of it, or whatever, however, because it's all peeling the layers.
Yeah.
So it's really fascinating that when we start to come to those levels of awareness, that we can start to see ourselves differently. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to have these peaks and valleys of dipping down and we're just going to like stay there. This is a constant effort. Like, I work on my mindset every single day. I have to. Otherwise, guess what? I'm going back. I'm like, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
I have to keep building on it.
Yeah.
Every single day. I mean, Tony Robbins builds on it 43 years later. He's still doing it every day. He's still breaking through his stuff, and it's just like anybody, any mentor that I've ever worked with who's been in transformation. Mary Morrissey's been in transformation for close to 50 years. Same thing. She works on her mindset every single day. Bob Proctor, who passed away last year, every single day. Like, you don't stop. This is a lifelong process.
Yeah, it is. But for some people can say, oh, this sounds like a lot of work. And why?
It is a lot of work. And that's why it's easy for us to stay in the conditioning. And that's why it's so easy for people to stay in their cycles. But guess what? Happiness and fulfillment does not live there, because we can't stay in the comfort zone. We are not designed to live in a comfort zone. That's programming saying, I'm scared, I'm fearful, I'm not enough, I'm unworthy. That's all that.
Yeah.
It's the mental chatter in trying to numb it all. Right. But we have to sit with it, and we have to allow ourselves to get quiet. And we have to start to understand who we actually are, because, you know, when people say, I have self-love, I exercise and I eat well, and I'm just like, I just kind of, hey, and I'm just like, I love that you're doing that. Let's validate that.
But great.
And right, there's more.
Yeah.
And then when people have that moment of like, I mean, I don't know if I can swear here, but like, oh crap, right?
Oh,
like,
we've been saying some other bad words on here. It's all good now.
okay, great. Okay. So it's that moment of like, oh shit, like, like now I actually have to look at myself, and those are the things, because it's, it's easier to put your head in the sand.
Yeah.
It's easier to stay in the stuff.
Yeah.
And this is why it's like, a very small percentage of people on this planet are doing this kind of work. But the more work that we do, the more people are waking up.
Yes.
Saying something's not right. Something doesn't feel right. Right?
Yeah. It's about, if you're not living in your own true self, like, or we change, we get into relationship, we change, we do, and we maybe become other people that we're not.
Right.
Guilty. That was me. But we get so in it, in our little box. So we just think it's normal. And this is just, oh yeah, no, this is how it is, until somebody go, but you're so different when you're not with them. But when you were that, then you're like, I was like, yeah, I guess I'm me over there, but over there, I'm this other, well, who's that? I don't like that person. I want to be that person.
Right. Because
then how do you recognize that though? Because it's so like, I was in my box. I knew I was in my box, but something had to happen for me, which was infidelity and divorce. Something had happened and slapped me on the head. It could be anything, right?
But if you really think about it, and, let's observe that, right? Because moments of awakening happen in different ways. They can happen in life changes, right? You move, you get pregnant, you start a family, you get married. It can happen in kind of positive ways, but it can also happen and this is oftentimes in the spiritual awakenings where it happens, you've got infidelity, you've got divorce, right? Mm-hmm. But if you really look back on that experience, all the things that led up to that, where were you putting your head in the sand?
Right.
And numbing yourself to that, right? Not wanting to see the truth, not wanting to see the taking responsibility for yourself in that equation.
Yes.
Right? Because that's the other thing. If there's something like that, often, under normal circumstances, unfortunately, there's a lot of blaming. And I watched this through my own parents, right? And in their very toxic relationship and their divorce and all the things, a lot of blaming. And they blamed each other for years and years and years. And I fed into that. And I went back and forth between being angry at one parent and, hating another parent and going through all the things until it got to a point where I was like, this is both y'all. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like,
that is
and
huge.
what it comes down to, it is huge, because what it comes down to is that blame feels better than guilt.
Yeah. Right.
Because shame, if you think about it, when we get to that place of guilt and shame is the lowest level vibration that we can be at. So if we're in a place of shame, it's almost like there's something inside of us that tells us we're not going to be able to come out of that. Right. So it's a lot easier to just, I'm just going to point the finger at someone else. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
The best for me, it was like an awakening, and I took responsibility and learned how did I contribute to this? Because again, it doesn't matter what happens. I mean, in a divorce, there's two sides.
Yeah.
And so you have to take accountability and you just give yourself grace, but you learn, right? And this is why that's actually when I met Tony. I always joke about that.
Yeah.
I lost one, I gained another, and he was really tall and 6'7".
Right.
And but it was like taking responsibility and seeing where like this was my part of it. It was, I take full responsibility. But then you can say that it's just what you do afterwards. Like, and that's when I started my transformational journey and starting finding me, getting to know me again and falling in love with me again. But it takes time.
Takes time. And it just, like I've worked with a lot of moms too over the years, and I've seen, I was a yoga teacher for many years. So teaching them yoga, and that's actually how all this started, was through my yoga teaching and my own practice. That's how I came home to myself. And so I started teaching in the way that it was giving back to me. Right. And I would bring these women back home to themselves, and they would be crying in their practice. And they're like, I don't know why this is happening. And I said, like, these are women who became moms, who gave their entire lives to their family, whose identities became their family.
Yes.
That they forgot about who they were.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the truth.
It is the truth. And and again, that comes from our societal programming, familial programming of, the woman has to be like, I even look at like my grandmother, who's now 99. And, while my grandfather, thankfully he lived till 100 years old. He died a couple of years ago. But looking at that experience, like my grandmother, up until the day my grandfather passed away, she was always the last person to eat.
Oh.
Always. She was always in service of others, and not to say that that's wrong, but it's like her self-care, her self-worth wasn't developed.
Yeah.
And guess what it caused her later in life? A lot of fucking resentment, bitterness, anger. And it's really hard seeing her like that at 99. And I want her to have a happy life, but there's the only thing that I can do for her at this point, right, is just be a reflection of love to her and not fall into her stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy for us to do that, to just try to fix it, or you're just, using the term gaslighting, but, like doing stuff like that, like where we're, we meet people. Yes, we want to meet people where they are, but we don't want to react to people where they are.
Right.
Right. And that comes from that deeper level of awareness. We can only meet people as deep as we meet ourselves. We can only love people as deep as we love ourselves. Right. So we're never, ever, ever going to find love outside of ourselves. It is all here first. Doesn't mean that other people aren't reflections to us, teaching us, being our teachers. Everybody is our teacher. Right. And I see it, and I find it fascinating how like, that perfect stranger on the street, or, somebody that you have nurtured your relationship for a while. Everybody's our teacher, showing us something.
I think some may think that if they don't give and give and give, as women, we are programmed to give and nurture. But if we don't, it's all about now, because for me, self-love and self-care goes together. So it's all combined. So if we don't pour into our cup, it's like the oxygen mask. If you don't fill up your own cup first, you are no good to others. But for some, I think it's it's like, no, then I'm being selfish. But it's right. Like, I think you give to your children, you give so much so that you start losing who you are.
I think that that often will happen in the sense that, did you really even know who you were in the first place?
Mhm. So true.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is, again, we are, especially in this day and age, we are just bombarded by distraction.
Yes.
I mean, even me living, I just moved to this really beautiful villa, and I was having a conversation with a friend yesterday. And before I was staying here, I was staying somewhere a little bit closer to the center of this town in Ubud, and there's a lot of activity. And then I told him, I said, well, it's really quiet where I am. And I just looked at him and I said, it's really quiet. And we both started laughing because we know what that means.
Yeah.
And what that means is you have to face yourself. You have to face the stuff that's coming to surface so you can really look at it when
Yeah.
it's that.
Yes.
Right. And it's not about distraction. And I know for myself, like I have healed, I don't even know how many addictions to things. Right. I mean, I was never really truly into drugs and alcohol per se, maybe like a couple things, but my deepest addictions were the addictions to dissociate, my addictions to numb, in whatever ways that was showing up. And it's like, I still have to pay attention to that. Oh, I'm doing that right now
Yes.
because I don't want to deal with, and now that we're in a day and age of technology, right? It's just really easy. The media has us, has a hold on us, with, let's just watch another Netflix show, right?
Yes.
Binge
Binge
watching
watch
things.
a little bit. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's become a part of our society. And I mean, I'm not saying that I don't do that. I totally do that too, and I also know when I'm using it as a way to, am I checking out because I'm afraid of something, or am I doing it because I truly want to, because this is what I want to do for myself. I mean, there are times where I have to actually I limit myself, and I'm like, nope, I'm only going to watch one, and then, and then I notice if I'm like, oh, but maybe I'll just watch another one. Right. You have to notice, you have to start noticing these things,
Yeah.
how your addictions are showing up. And that's the thing. People think that addiction, drugs and alcohol. And I'm like, are you addicted to your phone? Are you addicted? That's dopamine hit, right? Are you addicted to posting and seeing who's liking your stuff? Are you addicted to validation? Are you addicted, right? Are you addicted to food? Are you working too much? Are you addicted to work? What's
Mhm.
your default?
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Like,
that I'm
let's
keeping
get
myself
curious about that.
busy. Yeah, I'm keeping myself busy so I don't have to think. I was like,
Well,
well, you know what's gonna happen. You're just gonna, at one point, you're just gonna go straight into that wall. Like we have a saying in Swedish, like it's like you hit the wall. I can't say it in English. He walked into the wall. And it's like, just like, yeah, they went crazy. It was like they're awakening, like, well, and then, but then they get medication.
Well, and that's the other problem that I see. And I have been on medication. I know what that's like. I mean, in my 20s, I was on medication to save my life because I was extremely suicidal, and I was I was ready to end my life. And I was but this is how I went into a path of service. Medication was great in the sense that it helped me temporarily. But the problem is that we're too quick to add medication to our bodies. Our bodies literally know what to do, knows how to heal itself. But, it's like you get one medication and then you have side effects. So you get another medication for that side effect. And then guess what? You're just filling your body with toxins.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't even know how to live naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And I have nothing against people need medication, nothing.
Yeah, we're not
There's a time and place for
the
everything.
time and place, right?
Yeah.
And we have to look at it as, where are we using it as a crutch?
Yes, or like to numb something, right? And it doesn't have to be just medication, like you talked about. It can be alcohol, it could be drugs, it can be watching Netflix. It's anything. Just
Sugar, it's
where we,
food, it's
yes, all those little things, exactly. And this is why I love this so much, because all the speakers, we're all speaking into each of all these things. And it's
Mhm.
just like it's touching on everything, and it's amazing. And I just see it all coming together, and it's just beautiful, because there's so many paths to self-love, because that's what this is ultimately all about, right?
Yes.
It's starting with you. So the one question I did ask that I put down was like, and then we're gonna get guided through hypnosis, and so that will take about 15 minutes.
Yeah, about 15
So
minutes.
get comfortable. But let's prep them so they can still listen to this. If they need to move around to a different room, if you're driving, don't do this right now.
Yeah, obviously don't do this when you're driving, but you're gonna want to be in a comfortable seated position, either on a chair or a sofa, and yeah, just go on the journey. And that's really where I'm gonna take you. And you might want some tissues next to you because it might break your heart open, and some tears might start to flow, and that's okay. This is all about meeting yourself.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that just in a few minutes. I just wanna, there's some keys on the path to self-love.
Mhm.
Can you indulge us? And then we'll go into our little hypnosis.
Now, I would say some of the keys to self-love is really is first becoming conscious and noticing what you're noticing. Notice the parts of you that are feeling longing, that are feeling discontent, that are feeling unfulfilled. Notice the parts of you that you're rejecting. Notice your self-talk. All right. Notice how hard on yourself that you're being. And know that when you start to have that first observation, that gives you power, because then you get to redirect it. You get to make a decision. You're at a crossroads. Every time you do that, you're at a crossroads, and you get to make a decision what you're going to do with that. Are you going to choose to stay in the cycle of that and let it progress and build? Or are you going to take a hold of it and say, no, I'm going to choose a new thought. I'm going to do something different with this. Right. But it takes a moment of noticing, pausing. If you have to forgive yourself, Gabby Bernstein talks about this, self-forgiveness, right? And choosing a new thought pattern. I mean, it's honestly that simple. And that's where it all starts. It starts with awareness, right? And if you make that declaration in the mirror that we talked about a little bit ago, and you say, hey, I see you, and I see you for who you are, and I'm going to love you anyway. And I'm going to commit to you, and I'm going to commit to the process of getting to know you and understanding you. This changes everything. And you can do it, looking in the mirror. You can write a letter to yourself. You can write a letter to yourself just saying, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for how I treated you. You didn't deserve that. And I mean, that even, even brings tears to my eyes every time I say that to myself, because it's like, I'm sorry for being so mean to you. I would never do this to someone else. I'm sorry I'm doing it to you now. Right. And it's just, that's first step. Right. So these are some of the keys is coming into a declaration for yourself, and start noticing when you're treating yourself badly.
Yeah, listen to your language, right?
Yeah, you have to listen to your language.
Yeah.
Right. And then as that comes out, right, Tony talks a lot about state, and like moving it out of you, like shake, go dance, put on some music and dance, and move the energy out. Like there's different tools and stuff that I teach my students with somatic releasing, and finding different ways to change your state. I mean, that's what I love about my work, is that it's a culmination of everything that I've learned over the last 20 years. And that's why I'm a self-love alchemist, because not one tool is going to work for someone else. Right. So I give people lots of tools to choose from. And I'm like, hey, I want you to have a plethora of tools so you can choose what to do in moments that feel not so easy.
Right. Yeah.
So it's good stuff.
It is very good stuff. And it's, I don't know why it's so hard for us to see ourselves in the mirror. I honestly don't think I've ever stood in the mirror and talked to myself.
Great. I'm excited for your homework tonight.
I know, right? I'm getting homework. I mean, okay, but I mean, we can take it a step further too, which we're not going to go in here. It's like take off all your clothes.
Oh, you could. I've done that.
That's
Absolutely. I mean, literally studying yourself, studying who you are, right?
and loving well, I gave birth to a child. Oh, or this, or that scar is from XYZ, or that, or there's always something. It's just like loving on that part. It's like, well, thanks to these, whatever, I did this.
Right.
I have a scar. Well, my daughter came out of there.
Right.
Right.
Very, and accepting the scar.
Right, exactly. And just all these other things that we're just so hard on ourselves for. Like, I get freckles, and I was like, oh, as a kid, ooh. And now you're like, oh no, they're cute.
Yeah.
It's like loving, and it's awkward. I'm not gonna lie, it is awkward, but and that would be very uncomfortable. So just stand in front of a naked in front of, like, I'm bearing it all now. Like,
oh yeah, some people have a real hard time with nudity. My sister's one of those people, and
it's just you. I'm not saying doing this in front of everybody. This is
you're
just
not doing this. No, exactly. But it's like, she won't. That's something that she has a really hard time, because she knows that I have no problem walking around naked. I have no problem, dressing in front of her, and she gets shy and she's like, oh, Denise. And I'm like, it's your body. Who cares? Right? Who cares? Like, it's just, and I'm not judging her, but I'm just kind of like, it's okay to view all of you. It's okay. Like, give yourself permission to do that. And baby steps. Oh my God, people, baby steps. Like, give yourself grace through this process. This is not like, you're not going to go from A to Z, this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's a lifelong marathon.
Yeah. I'm just like, take off all your clothes. It was like, no, let's start with a mirror. And later on, you can one step at a time. And just, love on yourself. Actually, that would be a good exercise for me.
It is. It's a great one.
Yeah. So I'm talking about me. I'm talking about everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to go into this hypnosis, and I want to play a little bit of music. So I'm just going to just start a little bit of music here in the background, and I just want to make sure that you can hear this properly, and that it's coming through. It's not supposed to be super loud, just kind of like a little bit in the background. Is that okay?
I can hear you talking.
Can you hear any music?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's not too loud, right? Okay, awesome. All right, so I want you guys to go ahead and get comfortable, get into a beautiful seated position. Yeah, and I'm just gonna have you go ahead and close your eyes for just a moment. I just want you to drop into your body for just a moment, and go ahead and take a deep breath in. And exhale out. Good. Now I'm going to have you reopen your eyes, and I'm going to have you look up towards your forehead. So in the middle of your forehead. And then I want you to take another deep breath in as you're looking up. Exhale out. Deep breath in, looking up. still looking up. Every time you blink, that's hypnosis coming upon you. And breathe out. And then last time, keep looking up, deep breath in. And now as you exhale, I want you to close your eyelids down, all the way down. And they're starting to become heavy, droopy, and drowsy. And your eyelids are starting to feel as if they've been glued shut and sealed shut and locked together. And no matter how hard you try to open your eyes, the more that they feel glued shut, sealed shut, and locked together. So now I want you to just forget about your eyes, and I want you to allow a drifting and floating sensation to develop in and around your body. And in your mind, I want you to picture 10 steps going down to a beautiful and peaceful place. And every word I'm saying and everything you're hearing is causing your inner mind to picture everything I'm describing. So now you're looking down 10 steps and you're moving on to step 10 as each muscle, every nerve turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking steps 9 and 8, and you can see your feet, hear your feet, and feel your feet treading each and every step. As you move down, drift down, travel down to an even deeper level now, you're taking steps 7 and 6, going deeper with every step you take. You're taking step 5, you're already halfway there, as each muscle, every nerve, turns loose, lets loose, and you go deeper. You're taking step 4, as you gently, calmly, easily move to an even deeper level. You're taking step 3, going deeper with every sound you hear. Every noise moving around you is carrying you further and deeper into hypnosis. You're taking step 2, just go deeper. And deeper means that you're going deeper to an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 1, just sleep deeply. Going deeper, deeper, and even deeper still. Every time I click my fingers and say the word sleep deeply, you're drifting deeper, going deeper, deeper into a wonderful awareness of yourself again. Just go deeper, drift deeper, and sink deeper. As you go deeper, you don't need to think about anything except one thing, that you have the most phenomenal power within you, the dialogue within your mind in a way that gives you the most incredible results. And every day you remember that your mind listens to the words that you tell it, and your mind does what it thinks you want it to do. Your mind does what you tell it you want it to do. Good. Now as you relax deeper and deeper, going deeper, sinking deeper, drifting down, all the way down, feeling a weightlessness now in your body. Breathing in and breathing out. So now I want you to imagine that you're taking a walk. And I want you to imagine that you're going to walk into the home that you lived in between the ages of 6 months and 12 years old. There's some flexibility there, but you are going back to the home where you were raised in before the age of 12. And if you've had many homes, you intuitively know which one to go to. You're walking through the front door now, and you're going straight towards the bedroom. The bedroom as a small child that you lived in. And you reach out your hand and you can feel the bedroom door handle in your hand. You're about to go into the bedroom from your childhood, and you intuitively know on the other side is a small child, and that small child knows you as an adult. You have a complete affinity with each other. So now, slowly, you open the door, and you're going into that bedroom and sitting there on the bed as you, somewhere between the ages of 6 months and 12 years old. the right age child is there in that room. And you know that child, and that child knows you, and I want you to ask them one question. Are you happy? And immediately the answer comes up. Are you happy? If the answer is yes, I want you to go back to a time when you are not happy. Are you loved? Does someone show you every day that they love you? Do you feel love? Do the people who raised you tell you that you're special, that you're meant to be here, that you are a gift to the world? And when you look at that little child, you understand what's going on in their mind. You see, we make beliefs about ourselves when we've only been on this planet for a few years. I'm not lovable, I'm not smart, I'm not clever, I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive. So look at that little child who was you and understand immediately that you made decisions and formed opinions and came to these conclusions when you were just a young child. And I want you to ask that little child, what do you think is available to them? And based on those feelings, what are they feeling? Is it a life where they can't have love or success? Is it a life where they never stand out, or a life where you're not good enough? A life where you can't achieve your dreams, where you're not deserving or worthy? And I want you to imagine picking up this beautiful child. And go ahead and wrap your arms around yourself right now as if you're holding the child. And I want you to repeat after me. Say this out loud. I am becoming a loving parent to you now. I love you exactly the way you are. I love you unconditionally. I will always listen to you. You can do anything. You are enough. And now I want you to take that little child away from that house and take them back to where you live now and walk through the front door and show them that you're able to upgrade them into a different world, a world of love, a world of feeling empowered, a world where you have love and happiness available to you. Take the child from their childhood home and show them everything that is available to them. Some of them might be material things. Good. In doing this, you upgrade that little child into your world, which is every day, in every way, a better one, because you have the power now that you didn't have as a child. You have choices now that you didn't have as a child. You have the ability to make whatever you want available to you and look at everything that you've already created for yourself, despite having those beliefs. You know right here, right now, that you can have it all, that you are an amazing person. And as you drift into a healing level now, you are ready for healing and you are moving into healing. You know that you are worthy and deserving of an extraordinary life of health, wealth, happiness. And you no longer care what anybody else thinks of you because you love yourself. It all comes easily to you. You realize how incredible you are, all the amazing value you add to the world. You are a magnet to miracles. You have always been lovable. You will always be lovable just the way you are. You know you are enough. You are more than enough. You will always be enough, and you are enough right now. As you go deeper, you are aware of the phenomenal transformation taking place in you. You matter. You are enough. You know you matter. And right now, I want you to massively increase your sense of self-worth and self-esteem. Even as I speak, your self-esteem is soaring. Your sense of self-worth is skyrocketing. With your sense of self-belief, it's all going up. You are wonderfully unique, and that is your superpower. You are an incredibly beautiful person, and you believe that with every piece of your heart, mind, and soul from now on. My words go with you. You hear the words even without my voice, and you still hear these thoughts because you're allowing them into your mind. You know that you are a magnet for miracles, that you are enough, and that you are lovable. You forgive yourself of any mistakes, and you completely let go of all guilt. You are tapping into the power of you, and you are using that power, and you are feeling extraordinary. Everything is in the right place and the right time. Now is a time for you to believe that you are lovable, you are enough, and you are a magnet for miracles. You remember everything that I'm telling you. You love yourself, you really love yourself, and you act in a way that shows that you're enough from this moment on. So in just a moment, I'm going to have you come back to your full awareness, feeling remarkable, feeling proud of how well you've done. On the count of 1 and 2, you are coming back to your full awareness, feeling amazing. On the count of 3 and 4, feeling empowered, feeling ignited. On the count of 5, you can open your eyes and take a deep, gentle breath. Cheers. Welcome home.
I'm so thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like drained. That's beautiful. I've done this once before with Denise, and it's just it anchors you.
It does, yeah. Very
Yeah,
much.
yeah, it is beautiful.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. It's my pleasure.
That was amazing. Woo. Okay. Yeah, drink water, like
Yeah.
hydrate, because it is like I'm feeling like it's heaviness, right? But then it's this lightness that comes out of it.
Release. It's a release that comes through. So yeah, you want to flush your body as if you're cleansing.
Yes, yes. So have some water. So I want to talk to you to ask you about your free gift before I let you go.
Yes, please. Okay. So my free gift is, if this resonates with you, if you're really feeling this, I would love for you to feel free to get in touch with me. And I have you can apply for a visioning session with me. Ingela has the link to do that, and it's a really beautiful. You may be on the wait list, and it might take a little bit, but please do not hesitate to do this. Yeah, and you will have the opportunity for me to get in a hold of what your vision is, and for us to talk it through and to see what your next steps are and what you're here to do, and how this is here to ignite your purpose and your self-care and your self-love and your self-healing. So that is my gift to you, and I would absolutely be honored for you to join.
I mean, and I don't want to see so I just see you, I just see love. You just radiate love. That's why I was drawn to you at Tony. Like I was so like, oh yeah.
Thank you. Really receive that.
You're radiating it. And that's what like when we see this and we like, oh, I want to have that. Like, I want to radiate like that. You are radiating. We're just even, we're picking up the energy even more, right? And
Yeah.
it's all about receiving and are giving the self-love to us. And
Yes, exactly.
that's how it comes out. So this is beautiful. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome. It is my pleasure. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for all the people that this is going to serve.
Yeah, it's amazing. So thank you so much, Denise, and thank you to the audience. Stay tuned. There's so many more speakers, and I'm just so excited to have you just experience all these beautiful human beings here to help you reignite your sparkle, right? Yay!
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Denise, and thank you to the audience. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.